Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy hump day, everyone. Here's a look at the ES and the daily time frame here. Strong lows here Monday night, which fed into the Tuesday rally. Solid continuation here. Ever since that Monday rejection here, that Monday reversal fed into that previous week's rally, and now we're seeing additional strength here heading into the RTH Open on Wednesday. This has been a very swift reversal from the lows and a rejection at the key range low. That was what was important about this reversal here. At the key range low suggested a return back towards 60.15, which is the key range midpoint. And then we were going to see how was price going to respond here. Was it going to turn back down off of that level, or do we break through 60.15 and open up a return back toward the key range high and all-time highs at 61.6375? And right now the answer is we're headed back toward the all-time highs. This thing broke through over the last several days here to the upside and has now seen a steady continuation from that Monday morning low. Very strong reversal that has taken place here, and now a test up here between 61.50 and 61.75 likely ahead as this market approaches the key range high. As of right now, bulls looking to defend into counter trend rotations for a push to the upside until proven otherwise. Looking at the NQ, similar price action here in the NQ as well. Very strong rejection here off the key range low. That key range low has gotten us back to the 21.728 midpoint of the key range. And again, like the ES here, we were looking to see how was the market going to respond here to that downward sloping channel there, eventually breaking it to the upside here, kind of like a flag type pattern, and seeing additional strength to the upside. That could carry us higher to the 22.450 level, which is again the all-time high, the previous quarter's high, the previous year's high, all at that same level. And again, early strength here in the overnight and pre-market trade heading into the RTH Open, with a shot to see this thing through to the upside up ahead. Bulls looking to defend into counter trend rotations for buy the dip opportunities as this thing flows higher. Looking at about 400 points of range on average here for the day, 425 on a 10-day basis. So if we can get 375, 400 points of range today, that could be right in line with the averages here for the most part. The low of the day right now, 768. So we're looking at about the 168 target for a 400-point day or thereabouts if this thing keeps stretching to the upside. Looking at crude oil, right now crude oil is basically flat on the day, doji-like day. It's had a very aggressive 3-day pullback here after starting the year very strong, hitting our upside targets, the 78.50 target and the 80 target. We still have 81.50 and 84.50 up above that could be in play. We're still in that bullish phase of seasonality here for this market, and you know, on the near-term basis here, it's building some energy for what could lead to the next rally attempt up ahead. Above 76.50 starts to open up the upside back towards 78 and beyond. Bit of a trading range developing here at the lows between 75 and 76.5, and you can see again the doji-like day that's developing at the moment. We could continue to see some back and forth doji-like price action today. Fade the edges with a current short-term downward bias but a medium-term upward bias at the moment. So again, this pullback could provide an opportunity for swing bulls to defend for a rotation back toward 80 and beyond. Ideally, we find a strong low down here to work off of, but we're not quite seeing a strong low just yet. But we did see some intraday lows the previous session that could suggest a rotation back up could be in play. Looking at gold futures, gold right now up about 1/3% at the moment. This thing developed a nice strong failed new low in the previous session off a rising 8-period average. Very bullish trajectory here to begin the year, and this thing has broken through the top of that triangular pattern that we talked about before. Really great triangle pattern right here. Super large pattern that would suggest a continuation toward 3,000 if a strong breakout had occurred. And so far we got the breakout here, retesting the breakout point yesterday and bouncing, and that would suggest more upside up ahead. On an intraday basis here, this thing's been averaging about 37, 35 points per day. So you're looking at about 35 points today on a range basis from the lows. If we can find that strong morning low, which maybe it's already in at 2760, we're looking at a rotation back to the upside. Looks like 56 is that low, but if you add 40 points to that, you're looking at about 96. You're at about 35 points, you're looking at about 90 as the upside target here from that low. Maybe there's another intraday low that happens here that can open it up to the upside, but basically this market continues to move higher until proven otherwise. Looking at the YM up 1/3% right now. This one's been super bullish. This one led all markets to the upside here, all equity future markets to the upside in a big way the previous session, especially behind earnings of some of its components, including Triple M. A big time G-Squat day here, G-Squat day last week as well, and this was the first one to really give us a strong rejection that Monday on a new low. That was a tremendous reversal. It just failed to reach the previous quarter's low. That was the home run entry, was for prices to push through that previous quarter's low and then look for a trap reversal back up the range toward the previous quarter's high for an outside quarter up. So just barely missed it. It has stretched tremendously since that low just 7 trading days ago, and a big time upside momentum here as this thing has now filled the FOMC key level from December and continues to power to the upside. Pullbacks here to be defended by bulls. Looking at Bitcoin, this one right now down 1%, but has given us a new key range. You'll notice here we had this as a strong buying opportunity here. We talked about the G-Squat wick reversal at the 90,000 support level, at the previous month's low, in that green zone here, that green buy zone on the PivotBoss pivots, and that was an indication that we would see at least a week higher. And many times when you see that rejection in an uptrend, it's 1 to 3 weeks of strength up ahead. And we've seen a new all-time high materialize. That's the 110 level right there. So 110, last time it was about 109s. And we've seen after that high, price pull back precisely to the midpoint of that impulse rally. So that is now a new key range for this market. And that key range forecasts a target of 130K up above. 130,000 up here is the new target, and the home run entry would be about 84,000. If price were to drop into 84, that could be a trap and reversal back to 110 and up to 130. Of course, we may not get a return back that low, but you never know. Oftentimes we do get a pullback and a trap opportunity below that key range low right there. But overall, that's a great key range right now off of a recent impulse rally, and 130,000 would be the next target up above based off of that key range. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Ethereum here, this one lagged behind quite a bit in the previous session. It was down quite a bit, 6-7% at one point there, especially off that previous close. It kind of pulled back here and is holding right at the center of the previous day's range. It's down marginally right now, very narrow range. It's clearly lagging behind Bitcoin at the moment. But like Bitcoin, this one has developed a large key range that gives us a big time upside target down the road. That target is 5,200. 5,200 from this large key range right here, with the midpoint right there at about 3,600. It's already given us a key range rejection at prices below the key range low, and then we had a higher low develop of sorts here in the previous session. So we could still see a little bit of a pullback, but this thing is building some energy right here at the lower edge of this range, which could see this thing play catch up to Bitcoin and crypto here as this thing rotates higher back toward 4,000. If you can start to push through that 4,100, 4,200 level, it really starts to open up the upside for the key range targets up ahead. Like Bitcoin here, you know, a pullback as deep as the 25% extension, 2850 could be a home run entry up to the eventual 5200 target, but even lower, 2600 would be a double to 5200 down the road. Do we get one more dip to the downside? Perhaps not, but if we did, that could be a good long-term entry right there off the 2600s. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.